Welcome to the Castro Valley Compass, navigating your week through Castro Valley. Brought to you by the Castro Valley School of Music. We bring music to life. For information about private and group music lessons, call 510-397-0721 or visit us at cvsom.com. And now, here's your host of the Castro Valley Compass, Shane Sharkey.
Coming up on this week's edition of the Castro Valley Compass, what Castro Valley building is set for demolition tomorrow, Thursday, the 14th? And who rescued Roger Rabbit? We'll address these questions and more coming up on our news roundup. And there are a lot of events happening this Saturday, the 16th. Which one will you attend? Stay tuned to find out. And coming up on our Spotlight interview, we'll be speaking with Carol Zilli. She is the founder and director of Music for Minors 2, very instrumental organization in getting the Castro Valley School of Music started and helping me find my purpose in life. If you want to stay tuned for that interview. And we have our retrospective coming up. It's an audio trip back to what was it like to cruise Castro Valley Blvd in the 1980s. And we have a new segment coming up called Volunteer Time. How can you volunteer to help make our local community better? All that and more coming up next on the Castro Valley Compass. Stay with us.
Looking to unlock your child's creativity? Or maybe you're an adult wanting to rekindle a love for music? At Castro Valley School of Music, we've got you covered. Studies show that learning an instrument boosts brain power, improves memory, and strengthens problem-solving skills. But the real magic happens when you play together. At Castro Valley School of Music, we offer lessons for all ages and skill levels, whether it's guitar, piano, violin, or something a little different. Our talented instructors will help you grow and have fun while doing it. And our group classes and ensembles? They teach teamwork, build friendships, and give students the joy of playing alongside others. It's where music becomes more than just notes. It becomes connection. Are you ready to start your musical journey? Call Castro Valley School of Music today at 510-397-0721 or visit us at cvsom.com. That number again is 510-397-0721 or you can visit us at cvsom.com. Let's make music together.
Now back to more of the Castro Valley Compass. Brought to you by the Castro Valley School of Music.
Hello and welcome to the Castro Valley Compass. I'm your host, Shane Sharkey, and on this news roundup today, we've got a few things to talk about. The first one I'd like to get to is the reopening of Sulphur Creek Nature Center. They reopened last week, and if you haven't had a chance to visit them, you definitely want to check that out, especially if you got young ones. It's a really fantastic place to go see some real live animals, and not just normal animals, too. They've got quite a bit of variety going on there. What they do over at the Sulphur Creek Nature Center is they take injured animals and they nurse them back to health before letting them free in the wild again. And if they're not healthy enough to be let loose in the wild, then they keep them in the enclosures there and use it as an educational process for the young ones. They have they have rabbits, foxes, coyotes, and all kinds of birds, including owls, golden eagles, and peregrine falcons. They also have snakes and tarantulas and some other small animals. So over the past year, they've been doing construction upgrades, including an amphitheater built from reclaimed trees. And that amphitheater is going to help with their education process, creating a neat place for lectures and performances. They've also upgraded their signage and some other displays to modernize their facilities. They're open from Tuesday to Friday, noon to 4 p.m., Tuesday through Friday. And on Saturday and Sunday, they're open from 10:30 until 2:30. I know a lot of kids have gone there for field trips, my kids included, and definitely come back with a lot of fun stories. So definitely if you have young kids, you should check out the Sulphur Creek Nature Center. They're right here in Hayward. Also, we talked briefly in the tease about the demolition of a building here. That is the Castro Valley Public Market is set to be demolished tomorrow, Thursday, November 14th. That's the market that burned down in June, turned into a great meeting place here locally, and unfortunately we lost that meeting place. Originally they were planning on rebuilding, but it turned out it was going to be multiple millions of dollars to rebuild, and so they've chosen to tear that down. And hopefully we'll get something cool here to replace that in the near future. But if you're driving by the Lake Chabot Public Market, you might want to take a look at it for the last time before they tear it down tomorrow. Also, we've got a great event coming up here in December 6th. If you've never been to the Castro Valley Village Christmas tree lighting ceremony, definitely a fun event. Castro Valley School of Music will be there with our kids' Christmas choir, and we'll be performing as we do every year. And if you're interested in being a part of our Christmas choir, you can reach out to the Castro Valley School of Music. We start our rehearsals next Monday. It's free for kids to attend, and it's a great community event. Really fun to get together and sing Christmas carols as we begin the season there at the Village. There's a bunch of other performers that come to the event, including performances by the Castro Valley High Madrigals, and there's several dance studios around Castro Valley that do performances as well. So it's a great event. Tons of people go out. It seems to get bigger every year. Definitely would encourage you to go check that out on December 6th. All right, coming up next, we will have our community calendar. We're going to talk about a few things happening this Saturday, as well as a few events that are coming up here in the near future, kicking off the holiday season. So stick around for the community calendar right here on the Castro Valley Compass. We'll see you in a few.
Looking to unlock your child's creativity? Or maybe you're an adult wanting to rekindle a love for music. At Castro Valley School of Music, we've got you covered. Studies show that learning an instrument boosts brain power, improves memory, and strengthens problem-solving skills. But the real magic happens when you play together. At Castro Valley School of Music, we offer lessons for all ages and skill levels, whether it's guitar, piano, violin, or something a little different. Our talented instructors will help you grow and have fun while doing it. And our group classes and ensembles, they teach teamwork, build friendships, and give students the joy of playing alongside others. It's where music becomes more than just notes. It becomes connection. Are you ready to start your musical journey? Call Castro Valley School of Music today at 510-397-0721 or visit us at cvsom.com. That number again is 510-397-0721, or you can visit us at cvsom.com. Let's make music together.
Now back to more of the Castro Valley Compass. Brought to you by the Castro Valley School of Music.
All right, welcome back to the Castro Valley Compass. I'm your host, Shane Sharkey, and we're going to get to it with the community calendar here. Now, I am not a runner, but I have run one race in my life, and it was the Lake Chabot. I'm not sure if this was at the trail run or if there's another race around Lake Chabot, but I did a 5K there several years ago and barely made it. But if you are a runner and you're interested in being a part of the Lake Chabot Trail Run, that's happening this Saturday, and there's 8 different races. Races for the kids all the way up to ultra marathons, or an ultra marathon, 30K. Anyhow, definitely if you're a runner, it's a great place to just go around the lake. I typically don't run around the lake, but I'll ride my bike around it, and it's a beautiful, beautiful lake. If you haven't gone, check it out. I would definitely recommend that. Also, this Saturday we have the Eden Garden Club Holiday Bazaar. That'll be happening at the Faith Lutheran Church on Redwood Road. It's at 20080 Redwood Road. The Eden Garden Club is having a holiday bazaar featuring succulents, trees, pottery, holiday gift baskets, handicrafts, and homemade treats. Collectibles, a variety of gift certificates, books, jewelry, hardwares, and storage merchandise. All proceeds benefit the Castro Valley Unified School District and the Hayward Unified School District. and they are awarded school garden grants. Not sure what that means, but definitely if you're into gardening, definitely want to check out the Eden Garden Club Holiday Bazaar. That's this Saturday, November 16th at 9 a.m. Goes from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Faith Lutheran Church on Redwood Road. Also, this is one of my favorite topics. We've got Yoga for Beginners and Beyond. That's coming up Saturday the 16th again. This one starts at 10:30 a.m. This is at the Castro Valley Library. Now, if you've never tried yoga before, this is a great chance to get some exposure to such a great hobby, and I would definitely recommend you checking it out. The Castro Valley Library is hosting a free 75-minute yoga class every third Saturday of the month. They ask you to dress in comfy clothing and bring an exercise mat. All adults and teens are welcome. Instructor Joe Sapena is one of the teachers over at Prana Yoga here in Castro Valley, formerly Castro Valley Yoga. Joe's a great teacher, and I would definitely say that's a perfect teacher to introduce you to yoga. So again, that's Yoga for Beginners and Beyond, this Saturday the 16th at 10:30 a.m. at the Castro Valley Library. Let's see. Oh, also on Saturday, there's a robotics workshop with Cy Ravens. That's Saturday the 16th at 2 p.m. It's a 2-hour workshop from 2 till 4. That's also at the Castro Valley Library. Let's see what that's about. Are you eager to dive into the world of robotics? Stop by the Castro Valley Library for a first-hand look at the fascinating process of building a robot. Join all enthusiasts to join the First Tech Challenge, FTC. Let's see, that's the team Cy Ravens showcasing their robot and different parts needed to build one. For more information, please visit sciravens.org. That's SCIRAVENS.org. Or you can email them at contact@sciravens.org. So if you are inclined to want to learn how to build a robot, it sounds like a great workshop. Again, that's going to be Saturday at the Castro Valley Library at 2 o'clock. It's a 2-hour workshop from 2 to 4. Let's see, now coming up a little bit later, we've got a holiday boutique. That's going to happen on the 23rd, November 23rd. And let's see, I've got that over here. That's the Soroptimist of the East Bay Annual Holiday Boutique. Let's see, the Soroptimist of the East Bay will hold its 19th Annual Holiday Boutique on Saturday, November 23rd from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Hill and Valley Women's Club. That's at 1808 B Street in Hayward. There will be handcrafted gift items, holiday decor, jewelry, wardrobe accessories, and much, much more. Refreshments will be available. All proceeds benefit the goals of the Soroptimists International, improving the lives of women and girls by providing educational scholarships and supporting local charities that serve our women and girls. For more information, please contact Donna Whitehouse at 510-999-2911. And again, that's happening on Saturday the 23rd, and it's happening, where is that? At the Hill and Valley Women's Club at 1808 B Street in Hayward. So the holidays are upon us, and that sounds like a great place to go and get some gift shopping done. Let's see, the very last, oh no, there's 2 other things I got. Oh, you know what, I skipped one. Let's touch base on the Saturday the 16th. There's one more event. Boy, they have a lot of stuff going on at the library. This Saturday the 16th, there is an iPhone workshop, and something that I should probably attend. This one is focused on password management. It's at 1:30. It's a 2-hour workshop, 1:30 to 3:30, and pre-registration is required. So if you want to check this out, you want to go to aclibrary.org and register, or you can give them a call at 510-667-7900. That is at the Castro Valley Library this Saturday the 16th from 1:30 to 3:30. If you need some help learning how to use your iPhone, like me, might want to check that out. Maybe I'll see you there. All right, and let's see, coming up next on the Castro Valley Compass, we will be having a visit with Carol Zilli. Carol Zilli is an amazing woman. She founded and directs an organization called Music for Minors 2. This is an organization that brought music classes into elementary schools where budget cuts had removed them over the years. And so as a volunteer about 15 years ago, I think it was, I got my first taste of what it's like to teach music in elementary schools, and I enjoyed it so much and saw the difference that I was making so much that I continued to do it even after my kids aged out of the elementary school years. And not only that, it drove me to begin the Castro Valley School of Music. So you want to check out this interview with Carol, it's pretty interesting. It's a great conversation about what it's been like to run that organization, and we just talk about a lot of cool stuff. So if you want to learn more about Music for Minors 2 or how Carol Zilli has made a huge difference in the lives of many people, stick around. We'll have our spotlight interview with Carol Zilli of Music for Minors 2 right after this.
Looking to unlock your child's creativity? Or maybe you're an adult wanting to rekindle a love for music. At Castro Valley School of Music, we've got you covered. Studies show that learning an instrument boosts brain power, improves memory, and strengthens problem-solving skills. But the real magic happens when you play together. At Castro Valley School of Music, we offer lessons for all ages and skill levels, whether it's guitar, piano, violin, or something a little different. Our talented instructors will help you grow and have fun while doing it. And our group classes and ensembles? They teach teamwork, build friendships, and give students the joy of playing alongside others. It's where music becomes more than just notes. It becomes connection. Are you ready to start your musical journey? Call Castro Valley School of Music today at 510-397-0721 or visit us at cvsom.com. That number again is 510-397-0721, or you can visit us at cvsom.com. Let's make music together.
Now back to more of the Castro Valley Compass, brought to you by the Castro Valley School of Music.
Welcome back to the Castro Valley Compass. I'm your host, Shane Sharkey, and we are going to take a visit with Carol Zilli now. She came into the studio a little while back, and we had a great conversation about how she changed my life and about how she continues to change the lives of many, many people. I can't imagine how many people she's affected over the years, but she is an incredible woman with a passion for teaching music, and not just for teaching music, but to train other teachers. So enjoy the conversation I had with Carol Zilli right here on the Castro Valley Compass. Here we go. Well, I would like to officially welcome you, Carol Zilli, to the podcast. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's great to have you.
Oh, thank you, Shane. I loved being here.
Excellent. Well, there's so much for us to talk about. I'd love to, before we get into how you've changed my life and so many other people's lives by bringing music, let's talk a little bit about what you've got going on right now. You are the Executive Director of Music for Minors 2, and maybe you could tell us a little bit about Music for Minors 2.
Okay, great. I started Music for Minors 2, if you can believe it, in 1988.
Wow. In
Fremont in one elementary school because my children weren't having music in their classes. But what started me off was I would go in and play piano, and then this little girl, I would sing with the children. She taught me a song, Hi, My Name is Joe. And I asked her where she learned it, and she said from my friend in Los Altos. This told me, and little by little, I got in touch with Music for Minors 1. There is a 1. Uh-huh. And that was started probably 10 years before I started the Fremont one. And so I went and begged them to take their training, cross the Dumbarton Bridge, because I was out of their geographical area. They're on the peninsula. Today they serve San Mateo, Redwood City, Sunnyvale, I think, still. So anyway, it was everything that I ever dreamed of. It was so wonderful, that training. And so the executive director said, well, why don't you start it in the East Bay? I said, oh, okay. Never thought about that. And I did through Ohlone College. It was a class that I taught at Ohlone College. So we are a 501c3 nonprofit that recruits, trains, and supports community volunteers. Most of them are parents, but we have professional musicians, we have retired teachers, we have seniors, we have college students, but mostly parents of the children that we serve. So as you know, Shane, you took the class. We train every fall, and it's going to start up again in mid-September. And individuals can't even believe it, some of them, that they can do this because we help them discover their musical skills, because everybody's got some. And we sing, we dance, we play instruments, we do music listening appreciation. So the children are exposed to a wide variety of music. So that nonprofit, then I started to talk to teachers, or definitely teachers, but parents, started getting a small group started. So we gradually went from 1 school to 3 to 5, and now we're serving 13 schools in Fremont Unified, 2 in Newark Unified. But we used to be in Castro Valley Unified School District for many years. In fact, I taught the training through the Castro Valley Adult School. Well, I'm hoping this is what happened. I believe we really raised the level of awareness of how essential music is in children's classrooms.
I've been trying to figure out how to put this in words, but I would say that if anyone has ever been affected by the Castro Valley School of Music, it directly goes back to Carol Zilli. I mean, it is the reason that I started this school is because of the experience I had as a Music for Minors 2 docent. The training was eye-opening, to say the least. It was kind of like, I don't know if I ever told you the story about how I discovered my life's purpose, but it was, I've been a musician for a long time, never really did anything with it professionally, but I've just always had it as a hobby. And, we've had pianos. My ex-wife bought me a piano for my birthday, 25 years ago or something like that, more than that probably. But so we had this piano at home, and when I started having kids, I started teaching them what I knew on piano. It was, Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, and Mary Had a Little Lamb, and stuff like that. And we had a gathering of, my family came over, my mom and my sister and her kids, and they were all over at my house, and I looked over and I saw my daughter Madison teaching her cousin Emily something that I taught her on piano, no prompting from me whatsoever, and it just hit me like a ton of bricks. I was like, oh, that's why I'm here, to make that happen over and over and over again. I put an ad out for music teachers on Craigslist, and much different than today, I got a room full of teachers, like no problem, and we all sat together and discussed what we could possibly do. And I remember letting them know, this is an experiment. We're going to try an experiment. We're going to see how this goes. And here we are, 12 years later, 6 different locations later. COVID was, almost a business killer for sure, but thankfully we survived that. And it is still something I directly would track back to my experience with Music for Minors 2 and the training with you and the exuberance and energy that you bring to that training session, and the fact that you're open to ideas and that we would discuss different possibilities, and that sort of environment made it very easy for me to just keep going down that path. So, and I know I'm not alone. I know there's a lot of other people that have been inspired by working with you and Music for Minors 2. I see Rose walking around the neighborhood every once in a while. She and I live near each other, and she's walking. I go out there and walk my dog, and we say hey to each other. And anyway, she's was a great influence early on. Yeah. Anyway, that has taken us to where we are now, and I know that you have one of the stories that I remember hearing as a trainee of Music for Minors 2 was people would come up, Rose would come up to me and say, it's amazing how when kids grow older, they remember you. And they'll come back to you. You might be in the mall, and some teenager comes up to you, and you don't know who they are, and they're like, Mr. Sharkey, I remember I had music with you in 5th grade or 4th grade, and that was awesome. Thank you so much for teaching me. Like, does that still happen to you?
Yes. Oh my gosh, Shane. It does. And, they look at you like, Mrs. Zilli? Of course, I haven't aged at all.
Sure.
But I think of 2 things. One high schooler, she, and I think it was at a Fremont Festival, Art Festival or whatever, we always have booths, because we do continue to do community booths so people see us and, get to know who we are. And she came up and she said, Mrs. Zilli, I have to tell you something. In my social studies class, or history class, I guess it was, the teacher said, who knows the preamble to the United States Constitution? Nobody was raising their hand, she said, so I just kind of raised my hand and said it. And he looked at her and he said, how did you know that? Well, in elementary school, in my Music for Minors 2 class, we did rhythm with that, and we practiced it, and I don't know if it was quite a rap, it could have been, but she said, I never forgot it.
Wow.
So it's true. Once you experience music, it's there. Maybe you have to pull it out a little harder sometimes when you get older. But that one always struck me. And I have to tell you 2 stories, Shane, because these 2, I think, will always be with me. And I think it just makes the program, first of all, to know about it. Because, you know, when we go into the classrooms, the impact, sometimes you see it on the face of a child, but you don't know what's going on inside. And you may never know. But all you know is you've got to plant the seed, and you've got to share the gift and let it be there. And then something will happen, because that's what music does. My favorite thing to say is music feeds the brain while it touches the heart. And that always happens, and nothing else can do that. And so, you know, we do the fist demonstration of how the 2 hemispheres, you know, it integrates the brain, it builds the neuron bridges. But beyond that, yes, it'll help them learn. It's a powerful learning tool. But if it's touching the heart, that is everything. Because that's what transforms people. And like yourself, and even me, I mean, I love music so much. Even as a child, I think it was I'll get back to the subject, my aunt who played piano. Oh my gosh, that woman, not a sheet music in front of her. And she did a lot of honky-tonk stuff. And I'd sit there and I'd watch her. And I think I've thought about her lately. And my goodness, she's been gone quite a while now. But I bet that was the inspiration right there. My dad loved music, but I think he could play 1 song on the piano. But he loves it. And it's too bad. He could have had lessons maybe. Who knows? It was a long time ago. But anyway, so this one, there was an autistic child who was at Snow School in Newark, California. The docent was a former kindergarten teacher, and she was excellent. Docent, of course, being those that are trained, and we call them, they get the name of docent, and they go into the classroom as a volunteer. During the school day, which I think is important because of the curriculum connection. So she was doing Tas and Titis, the Kodai method of teaching rhythm, and then she used a poem to tie that in, and they were she was writing on the board the symbols for the Tas and the Titis, which is the line and then the connecting of 2 lines. And this little autistic child was mainstream, I think for the first time, because normally his class size was like 5 to 7 children. So here he's coming into 24 children in an elementary school kindergarten class. Well, he went back to his special day class. I don't know if it was immediate. I don't recall what she said on that. But his special day teacher saw him go to the board, and he started to write the symbols for the Tas and Titis, clapping the rhythm, and I think trying to say some of the poem. But my gosh, what it showed that teacher is that child can learn in a larger classroom setting, retain it, and come back and produce it. They decided to mainstream him in another subject area, in another class. So that changed his whole course of study. That one I will never forget. And the second one was a little girl from Ethiopia, and she hadn't been in the United States very long. And it was a docent in Milpitas, because we have served Milpitas schools with our program. And so she was doing the dance Pata Pata, which is a fun line dance. And this little girl, she noticed, started to cry. It's a 2nd grade class, I think. And the teacher went over and was comforting her, and the docent had to continue, but she definitely wanted to find out later what happened. Was she sick or something? So the class was over, and she went over and talked with the teacher. I think the little girl had left. And she said, "Oh, was it something I said, or is she sick or something?" "Oh, no, Mrs. Zilli," she said. "As you were doing that, she started to cry because she is from Ethiopia, had only been in the United States, I don't know if it was a couple of months or a month, and they used to dance that dance in her homeland every Saturday night, and she never thought she would be able to do that again." And that one I will never forget as well. And who knows how many others. Yeah, there's nothing like singing with children. First of all, children on their own. I so love being around them because there's more of a purity there. There's a innocence. There's a wonder. I think it's the wonder and a playfulness. And that's what I think our program, through music, it gives the adult the opportunity to recapture the child in them. Because even though we look different as we age, there's still a child in there.
Yep.
And I often think about that, you know, I want to find out more about my childhood. First of all, joy, positivism. You know, when you're experiencing music, you're not thinking negatively. You are happy.
Right.
And especially good song lyrics. So our curriculum, I love it because there's so much that we have that docents can pull from, but it's the message, the song, the melody, the rhythm, you know, the fun we have dancing to it or playing the drums. But the lyrics are what really is going to penetrate. So we teach values through our music. Kids are learning about respect and honesty and responsibility, especially Red Grammer's music, where he's got a whole CD on it, and it's called Bebop Your Best. Every character trait, every value is done through a song. They're going to remember that, you know. Try, 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 and try again. You know, don't cry, you can try again. I mean, just think about that lyric. And so I think, Shane, I know I've seen you. You are a gift to those children. I did a presentation last night at the Fremont Council PTA, and I asked Vera, our program manager, Vera, pull up all those teacher feedback comments. And she went back to 2015 and pulled the best, pulled the ones that really grabbed you, you know. And I know you're in there. I know 'cause you were an outstanding docent, you still are, an outstanding docent. And because you donated your time for that, you know, and you helped Music for Minors too in many ways through your Castro Valley School of Music. But you have persevered, Shane, and there is a song about perseverance. I don't know if I taught that one to you, but that's the name of that's you, Shane. You have a passion, you had a goal. No matter what the challenges were, you stayed with it. And here I am sitting in the most beautiful facility you have had over all these years. You deserve it. You earned it. You value it, you know. You value people. I love working with the children, but it's the training that I don't love it more. But when I see an adult come in to the training, they're not sure. Oh, I can't sing, Carol. I just can't. Wait a minute. Every human being has the potential to sing. Now, have you ever sung? You know, some say, oh, no, you know, and people would tell me to not just move my lips. I said, what a terrible thing to say to somebody. But it's happened, you know, so much. And I said, wait, this is day one. Is there any competition in this class? Do you have to be me? No. Do you have to be this person over here? No. We're going to try to find out who you are, where your skills are, and what we can develop that maybe you need a little help with, and then what we can be so joyful about, because you could do this. And those that make that change, and on the last day when they're doing their final presentations on their own, 7 minutes teaching us something, I think I love that so much because you've helped a human being. And that's what life is all about. Not the money, not the honor and the power, Who did you help?
Right.
And there's a need, and you try to fill it. And that's you, Shane.
Well, it's funny because I would not have been able to, I don't think, stand up in front of people and speak in a public situation had I not gone through the Music for Minors 2 training. I still remember very distinctly my first class I taught on my own at Stanton Elementary. I had long hair at the time, and I think I had sort of a hair tie or something in my hair, and this little girl skipped in with the beautiful, innocent lightness about her, and she skipped in and she said, "You look like a girl." And and I thought, oh no, here we go. It's going to be out of the mouths of babes. Like, what is this going to be like? I was so nervous. And it's funny how, like, it was almost more nerve-wracking to be in front of kids than adults in a way, but it was through that experience that I was able to say, you know what, I'm going to do my very best. And I'm not going to place my fear in what other people's interpretations of my delivery might be. I mean, I'm going to do my very best. I'm going to be honest and open and vulnerable at times. And it's through that experience, doing it over and over and over and over, that I was able to find my confidence, find my voice in not just singing, but in public speaking. I do have one little story I would like to share with you that happened last year that I thought was kind of, it puts it into perspective for me, not just the docent part of my life, but just everyday living in general. I was teaching a class, and it was right before the class started, and this little girl came up to me and she handed me a note, like wasn't just a note, it was like she had made her own envelope and like decorated and everything, and it was like, it was nice, it was impressive. And she handed it to me right at the beginning of class, and I put it in my briefcase. I said, thank you so much. I didn't want to open it right there in front of everybody, and I put it in my briefcase and conducted the class, went on to do a couple more classes, and I forgot about the note. And it was 2 weeks later, I remember I was having a rough day, and I was cleaning out my briefcase, and I found this note. I was just all at home by myself, and I'm getting a little emotional thinking about it because it was so powerful. Her note just said, thank you, Mr. Sharkey, for teaching us music. And it had some, nice drawings and stuff in there. And I thought, oh, it shifted my perspective on having a bad day. And I thought how incredibly powerful that note was. And I remember going back to the class and saying, I got this note, and I want to share with you guys how important that was for me, because it's easy for us to forget how special we are. And this little girl reminded me of how special I am. And I thought, that little note came from my coming into these classrooms and sharing myself and sharing music with these kids. And the fact that she took the time to write that, and then share it with me, and the fact that I put it away and it came at a very opportune moment, that was just like, that's how it was meant to unfold that way. And it reminds me how important our communication with other people is. So it's easy to forget how special we are. And this is what I shared with the kids. So help your parents remind them how special they are. Help your teachers remember how special they are. Your classmates. It doesn't take much. Just a small comment about thank you for being so special in my life. And I thought, okay, wow, that's what this is all about, is helping us remember. It's easy to forget how incredible we are as people, and it takes sometimes a little bit of recall from someone else. We all need music in our life on some level.
Yes.
And I try to figure out why. I've never met a person in my life that does not like some type of music. And like everybody likes music, some form or another. Maybe it's death metal, or maybe it's classical music. But it's like everybody relates to some genre or style of music. And I'm playing with the idea of why is that? Why isn't there? Are there people who just don't like music? And if there are, I have not met them. And I play with this sort of esoteric idea of like, well, we are all a collection of vibrations. Like inside of us, there's something vibrating within us. Every one of the things I teach the kids is everything that you hear is something vibrating, whether it's your voice, whether it's a drum, whether it's a horn, whether it's a train traveling 2 miles away or whatever.
Sound.
Some type of vibration is happening, and I think that's why we all relate, is because we are just a collection of vibrations ourselves. So it's like that fundamental element of being on this planet is like.
Well, the creation of the world, I mean, different people have different views on that and whatever, but there are birds out there. And there are lions out there, I often think, I would be, maybe one day we'll all know this, the first human being that opened their mouth and made a sound come out, it had to have been impacted by the birds. They had to have been hearing in nature sounds.
Right.
And then, or did they groan, or what did they do, and then, how the first song was sung ever.
Right.
That fascinates me so much to think about that, And, Shane, you just said the lyrics almost. I think the song is Magic Penny. My voice is not good this morning. I don't even know if I can get anything out. Love is something if you give it away, give it away, give it away. Love is something if you give it away, you end up having more. And it's something about life is like a magic penny. Save it, hold it, you won't have any. Oh, geez, I don't know if I know the rest of the verse. Spend it, lend it, you'll have so many. Thrown all over the floor, something like that. But love is something if you give it away. I should write down what you said. I love what you said. That about the gift, that life is about discovering your gift and then giving it away. Oh, gosh, Shane, that's beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah, that stuck with me ever since I heard it. I was like, well, it's so simple, but so extremely profound. Thank you so much, Carol.
Thank you,
It's been
Shane.
so much fun to have you here today and get to catch up with you and talk all things music and life in general. So.
And the ripple goes on,
Yes,
Shane.
absolutely. It will continue. So
Thank you
so much for
and
all
congratulations on this beautiful, beautiful Castro Valley School of Music. You're doing amazing work, Shane.
Thank you, and it really does go back to my experience with you at Music for Minors too. Seriously,
Thank you.
Without you, I don't know that this would exist. So thank you so much for all your encouragement and everything.
Okay, Shane.
Wow, what a woman. Carol Zilli is definitely a hero of mine, and she's affected a lot of lives here in Castro Valley and beyond, and she continues to affect people through teachers like me and all the people that she's touched over the years. I mean, she's an incredible influence and just a real spreader of positive energy and music. So hopefully you enjoyed that interview, and we're going to be back with our retrospective here in Castro Valley in just a moment. We're going to take a listen back to what it was like to cruise Castro Valley Boulevard in the 1980s, way back in the 1900s. Stick around, we'll be back with more right after this.
Looking to unlock your child's creativity? Or maybe you're an adult wanting to rekindle a love for music. At Castro Valley School of Music, we've got you covered. Studies show that learning an instrument boosts brain power, improves memory, and strengthens problem-solving skills. But the real magic happens when you play together. At Castro Valley School of Music, we offer lessons for all ages and skill levels, whether it's guitar, piano, violin, or something a little different. Our talented instructors will help you grow and have fun while doing it. And our group classes and ensembles, they teach teamwork, build friendships, and give students the joy of playing alongside others. It's where music becomes more than just notes. It becomes connection. Are you ready to start your musical journey? Call Castro Valley School of Music today at 510-397-0721 or visit us at cvsom.com. That number again is 510-397-0721. Or you can visit us at cvsom.com. Let's make music together.
Now back to more of the Castro Valley Compass. Brought to you by the Castro Valley School of Music.
It's a warm Saturday night in the 1980s. The streets are alive, and Castro Valley Boulevard hums with excitement. If you were here back then, you'd know what this night meant. This was cruising the Boulevard, Castro Valley's own strip of freedom. In the 1980s, cruising was more than just driving. It was the social scene, the place where high school students and young adults went to be seen, to show off their cars, to connect. It was a ritual, a rite of passage. Picture it, muscle cars and pickup trucks, their polished chrome gleaming under the streetlights, Camaros, Mustangs, GTOs, revving at the stoplights, waiting for that green to flash, just daring each other to go first. The boulevard stretched ahead, and with it, the night felt endless. For some, it was about the cars. For others, it was about the scene. Teens lined up at McDonald's or Denny's, blasting rock or pop from their stereos. Windows down, hands out, cruising slowly by, waving to friends. There was no social media back then. This was the way to connect, face to face, car to car. And the music. It was the soundtrack of the Boulevard. Van Halen, Journey, Madonna, whatever was on the top 40 blasted from car speakers. Each car a moving jukebox, each driver a DJ for the night. The music was loud, but the conversations, louder. It was a pulse, a beat shared between cars, friends, and strangers alike. Of course, it wasn't always just fun and games. There were rivalries, a little good-natured competition, and sometimes more. There were races along the straight stretches of the boulevard, engines roaring, tires screeching. No one could resist that moment of adrenaline, and sometimes the police would show up. Lights flashing, sirens blaring, just a reminder to keep things cool. But even with the occasional close call, cruising wasn't about trouble. It was about freedom. You see, the boulevard was more than just pavement. It was a stage where kids came of age, made memories, and tasted a little slice of independence. When you think of Castro Valley Boulevard now, it's definitely changed. The cars have gotten quieter, and so have the nights. But for those who were there in the 80s, cruising the Strip is something you can't forget. It wasn't just about the cars, the music, or even the people. It was about the feeling. A feeling of possibility, of being young, carefree, and invincible. If you close your eyes, you can still hear it. The rumble of the engines, the laughter, and the music carried on the wind. The thrill of the boulevard on a Saturday night. Castro Valley Boulevard in the 1980s. It wasn't just a place. It was a moment in time that for some will live on forever.
Looking to unlock your child's creativity? Or maybe you're an adult wanting to rekindle a love for music. At Castro Valley School of Music, we've got you covered. Studies show that learning an instrument boosts brain power, improves memory, and strengthens problem-solving skills. But the real magic happens when you play together. At Castro Valley School of Music, we offer lessons for all ages and skill levels, whether it's guitar, piano, violin, or something a little different. Our talented instructors will help you grow and have fun while doing it. And our group classes and ensembles, they teach teamwork, build friendships, and give students the joy of playing alongside others. It's where music becomes more than just notes. It becomes connection. Are you ready to start your musical journey? Call Castro Valley School of Music today at 510-397-0721 or visit us at cvsom.com. That number again is 510-397-0721. Or you can visit us at cvsom.com. Let's make music together.
Now back to more of the Castro Valley Compass. Brought to you by the Castro Valley School of Music.
Hey, Shane Sharkey here with Castro Valley Compass, and we are starting a brand new segment here on the Castro Valley Compass called Volunteer Time. How can you volunteer to help your community improve and spread the love of positivity? And the focus for Volunteer Time today is an organization called Forester. We actually had Jan Hardesty in the studio recently, and we're going to feature his interview next week on the Compass. But Jan is a real powerful force for creating a better environment for us, shall we say, here in Castro Valley and beyond. His organization is called forester.org, and that's spelled Forest R, so there's no ER, it's FORESTR.org. And one of the cool things that Jan does is he gathers with people every Saturday morning from 9 to 11 here in Castro Valley, and they pick up litter. We had a great conversation about that. We'll feature that here next week on Compass podcast. But if you would like to get involved with Forester and help clean up litter in Castro Valley, specifically around the freeway on-ramps and off-ramps, you can help by checking out the Forester Facebook page. And they announce where they're going to be meeting to clean up, I believe on Thursday or Friday before the Saturday events. So if you go check them out on Facebook, it's forestr.org. And the mission for Forester is a pretty simple and powerful one. Jan goes into it in detail in our interview, but he talks about cleaning, greening, and gleaning our areas. So briefly, cleaning is the litter part, litter removal. The greening is actually planting around the area, including fruit trees. And the gleaning is going around and harvesting that fruit and then delivering it to those in need, food banks and other people in the area that need food. So if you are inclined to want to get out on a Saturday morning and help for a couple hours, please check out forester.org. That's forestr.org. And specifically check out their Facebook page to see where they'll be meeting on Saturday mornings at 9 a.m. Now they do a tutorial to show people what they expect and how to be safe out there. It's for anyone who would like to volunteer, I believe 18 and older. And it's a powerful way to connect with people in the community, people that might be different from you, and a great way to build friendships and new connections. So if you're inclined to want to get out and volunteer, I would highly recommend going and check out forester.org, forestr.org, and tell Jan I said hello. We'll be featuring Jan's interview next week on the Castro Valley Compass, and we'll be back with more right after this.
Looking to unlock your child's creativity? Or maybe you're an adult wanting to rekindle a love for music? At Castro Valley School of Music, we've got you covered. Studies show that learning an instrument boosts brain power, improves memory, and strengthens problem-solving skills. But the real magic happens when you play together. At Castro Valley School of Music, we offer lessons for all ages and skill levels, whether it's guitar, piano, violin, or something a little different. Our talented instructors will help you grow and have fun while doing it. And our group classes and ensembles? They teach teamwork, build friendships, and give students the joy of playing alongside others. It's where music becomes more than just notes. It becomes connection. Are you ready to start your musical journey? Call Castro Valley School of Music today at 510-397-0721 or visit us at cvsom.com. That number again is 510-397-0721 or you can visit us at cvsom.com. Let's make music together.
Now back to more of the Castro Valley Compass, brought to you by the Castro Valley School of Music.
Well, that's going to do it for this week's edition of Castro Valley Compass. I hope you enjoyed our interview with Carol Zilli. She's an incredible woman and made a big difference here in our community and beyond. And hopefully next week you'll enjoy our interview with Jan Hardesty of Forester.org. Great organization. They do a lot of incredible stuff here around Castro Valley and beyond. And it's a really cool conversation that Jan and I had. We talked about many, many different things, but one of the things I think is really powerful is when we get out there to volunteer, we meet some people in the community that we may otherwise not run into. So it's not only just doing something good for the community, it's actually doing something good for you and your own mental health and networking. So we definitely encourage you to get out and help Jan at forester.org, and we'll be speaking with him next week. So until then, have a great week here in Castro Valley. Bye-bye.
Thank you for joining us this week on the Castro Valley Compass, navigating your week through Castro Valley. Do you have an idea for the show, or would you like to get involved? We'd love to hear from you. You can send us an email at info@castrovalleycompass.com. That's info@castrovalleycompass.com. See you next time on the Castro Valley Compass, brought to you by the Castro Valley School of Music.